For many, Warzone has got a little stale, and to a certain extent, that's with good reason. It has been out for over 2 years now, and we've only had 2 maps on the main Battle Royale mode, with few major changes. Warzone 2 is of course on the horizon, but that's likely not to be released until 2023. So in the meantime, we're reliant on the Call of Duty Vanguard updates on Warzone to get us through with some fresh content updates. For some, I know that's kind of a bleak concept, but there is a huge fix to the problem of Warzone feeling a little boring and stale, which a lot of people are loving the idea of. And that's essentially to bring in 2 new concepts. One of which is bringing in a ranked mode to Warzone, and the other is having map rotations in Warzone. We'll start by looking at a ranked mode in terms of what it would look like, how it will work, and if it will ever be released. A competitive mode where performance is based on kills and wins is obviously very desirable for a lot of the top-end players who want to spend their time on Warzone competing against other top players. This will be great for them, but will also be very good for casual players as well. Since the sweaty top tier players will be playing in a ranked mode, it leaves the ordinary lobbies to be populated with casual players or players looking for a more relaxed time. In theory, this will also reduce the strictness of skill-based matchmaking too. It likely won't get rid of it altogether, but you can expect future lobbies to be full of mixed ability players. If a lot of the sweaty players that play Warzone all the time are in the ranked mode or in just other modes in general, it means there are less players to be matched with when you're going into a Warzone lobby. And when there are less players to be matched with, Warzone generally fills up with mixed ability players simply because there aren't enough players to match people within those certain KD categories. So for example, if you have a 0.9 KD, you might usually get into lobbies around 0.8 to about 1 KD. Certainly this will be the case when the lobbies are very busy and a lot of players are online. However, when there aren't loads of players online, Warzone just wants to put you in a game and pretty quickly, so they'll just put you in there with whoever's online. And the best thing about this ranked mode is that it is definitely on its way. For a while it was just a nice idea and something that showed to be very popular in other games, but now we've had official word from Call of Duty creative lead Josh Bridge that said that a ranked mode is one of the major things missing from Warzone and it's something that's being evaluated. In fact, he was pretty enthusiastic and went on to say, "I cannot wait to get ranked play because that's ultimately what we need to make sure that high-skilled players have an end game where they can flex, and then we have a masses hey go have fun mode that's the lifeblood of a BR." So he has explicitly said they want a separate ranked mode whilst leaving normal lobbies to casual players where they can just have fun. The downside to all this is that we have no timeline, so we have no idea when a ranked mode can be expected. But when it is released, it should be a massive positive for all players, whether you want to play a ranked mode or you just want to have a good time on Warzone in those casual lobbies. Now let's talk about the idea, which I think would completely change Warzone and people's feelings of lethargy and tiredness towards it, and that's the concept of rolling map availability. So maybe we have caldera just like we do now, but every 3 hours or maybe 3 days, we revert back to Verdansk. And then 3 hours later or 3 days later or whatever unit of measurement we want, it goes back to caldera. Then in the future when more maps are added, they could be added to the rotation and it feels even fresher still. This is the model set up by Apex Legends and it works really well. They even have 3 maps that are always being swapped in and swapped out, with 1 each season being taken out completely to have loads of updates on. This would keep the main Battle Royale mode constantly evolving with the feel of something new every few games. And I know this is something that you guys want, as you can see here with the incredibly one-sided poll results from a recent community post. And thanks to everyone that votes in these polls, by the way. Now the good news for this multi-map rotation idea is that the devs actually do want it. Just have a listen to this.
Overall thoughts on like a map rotation? Some people, some people love Verdansk, some people.
Yeah, so we want that.
Yeah.
We all want that.
So it's a great idea, the devs want it, but there is some bad news. It's extremely unlikely to happen in Warzone's current state. There appears to be technical issues which hold this idea back from ever coming into fruition. These technical issues are mostly based around the install and reinstall sizes that would be required for this idea, which seemingly wouldn't be as big of a deal if Warzone had its own separate launcher aside from Modern Warfare. But because Warzone is still intertwined with Modern Warfare, we do get those insane file sizes, as I'm sure you all know. And unfortunately, it has become apparent that it is actually quite difficult to remove Warzone from the Modern Warfare launching system. So this amazing map rotation idea, which I think would fix one of the big problems with Warzone, Call of Duty simply will never do. Not in its current state anyway. There are technical limitations to Warzone in its current state. However, with the new generation of Warzone, which is coming out next year in the form of Warzone 2, things could change. And if you want to know more about Warzone 2, including everything we know about it so far, be sure to check this video out. See ya!